Hello, people. Hello. Look, guys, I didn't want to ruin the surprise, so, we gave Verge the night off. Okay, so Verge, I don't know if you guys kept up with it this weekend, but Verge is not here. We gave him the night off because he deserved it, because he kicked ass with putting together that awesome charity relay with the Aspire team. So I had to find somebody to replace him. You know, so here we are. My co-host tonight, he's not as good looking as Verge, but here is Mr. Bobby B himself.
It's so true.
Mr. Bobby B himself was so gracious enough to allow me to be in his presence tonight. So Bobby, welcome.
Ooh.
I'm excited to have you on and here as my co-host tonight, man. So yeah, like I said,
Appreciate it.
we had to give Verge the night off. The man, he's old. He needed, I told him to either take the night off or he's fired. So
Gave him an ultimatum.
had to. The man, he works too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so here we are. Bobby B, the man himself.
Samurai Sam.
Yep. Yeah,
The
that's
living
me.
legend.
Yeah. More so than legend.
Oh.
Oh, he's not here
Shots
yet.
fired.
I can't take
More shots fired.
He's not here yet. I can't talk shit.
Dang.
Anyways,
I'd
hey
be like
chat.
that.
Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? I need to. Bobby, tell us how your weekend went with the charity event and everything, because I need to put this tweet out real quick. Keep going.
Yeah, no, you're good. Man, it was fun. I know Verge, speaking of Verge, he kicked things off and absolutely crushed it. It was actually cool to see everybody just like do their own, I guess, part in all of it. And I felt like it went smooth. Like, obviously there's always things you can improve on, but for the whole, I thought it went smooth. I think my block, we ended up raising like $440. So, which is incredible.
Yeah, no, that's
And then
that's awesome.
I don't know, I'm sure you saw it. We raised over $5,500.
Yeah,
in total.
almost hit that 6,000 mark, which is incredible, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about. Like, I know, I think it would be super nice for us to do that for just one full charity next time, if we can all come to like an agreement on it. Because I mean, bro, could you imagine taking $6,000 to like
Just one spot,
right? Like that'd
Yeah,
be
that's
huge
crazy.
for that spot. But at the same time, everybody I was watching raised, like $200 to like $300 or obviously more dollars for every freaking charity that they did, and that in itself, I mean, anything obviously helps.
Very impressive.
So it's great, man. It was fantastic to watch. I caught as much as I could because I had other stuff going on.
Sure.
And it was a good time. You guys killed it. I am proud of being in this Aspire gaming group especially after this weekend. So
I think the most impressive thing about it, when you look at all the charities and all the donations that were, I guess, accrued.
Right.
I think the most impressive part is you got to remember that some of the hours, like some of the blocks, were in the early morning hours.
Right. Yeah. Like
when
that
everyone's
was
asleep, so the ability to raise even that much money during those, nightlife hours, I guess.
Right.
That's impressive. So,
100%.
if we get it to where like in the future, we're always doing something during like a prime time spot, I don't see any reason why we can't raise more.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, obviously it all comes with, exposure and stuff too. Like me and Verge have talked about this before, because obviously, that was our big goal for the year. Before we joined Aspire, both of us together, our big goal was to do, like, that was our big thing that we were going to do this year. Help out where we could help out. Do as many charity events as we could, because I care more about that and raising money for other people than I do making money off this myself, right? Because most of us, we all have day jobs, right? Like I I have an income. I don't need the extra money. Believe me, the extra money would be nice, but there's a lot of people out in the world, obviously, that need a lot more than I do right now. Obviously, like, I mean, I've got all this shit in my background. Like, what the fuck am I complaining about, right? So that was our main goal. So us to be able to bring that into Aspire Gaming and to see everybody be on board with that and really take the reins on that and do as much as we did this weekend. I mean, it's great, man. It was an awesome feeling. Even though I was sitting there all weekend, at my girlfriend's mom's house, because that was the whole reason we were gone, is her brother came in town from Cali. I was sitting there the whole weekend. I was like, oh, I want to be there. Like, fuck. Like,
next time.
Yeah, next time for sure. So, but like at the same time, it was incredible being able to watch it for once, right? So it was great.
Anyone that's kind of paid attention, though, I think knows the kind of passion you and Verge especially have for charity events. And just raising money, because I mean, you and I mean, y'all have been doing them for a while.
Yeah, so, since like last year.
To bring that to a group and then like have that much participation.
Yeah, it's great, man.
8 hours straight.
Yeah, and everybody killed it, man. Like nobody was really off beat. Like everybody I watched was just like on point, loving it, having the time of their life. Like,
I was delirious by the end of it. It was so we were laughing a lot during our blocks, but I was delirious. I was out of it.
I could see by some of the chats and like the streams on Sunday that most of you guys didn't get a lot of sleep, and I was like, yeah, that sounds right.
And I would do it again.
That's 100%. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I know Legend, I played a lot with it. I played a lot with him. Played Valorant, and then we did League Play. We did League Play for 6 hours.
I love watching. I keep telling and I keep telling Legend this. I love watching him play Valorant. Like I can see how much joy he gets in it, and I think it's a huge thing for him specifically, because I know he rages at some of these games, and like he's good at COD and stuff, but he's awesome at Valorant, and I love watch his passion for that. Like that, I love that. So I love when you guys play together. I always try and tune in because it's a great time. But
we just like messing with him, because like if he goes off and just misses a shot, he'll be like, oh man, my freaking mouse, and I'm like, okay,
he always does that panic shit. It's hilarious when he does it, man.
But no, he is good at the game, so like it's a fun time playing with everyone, and that was my thing, my big takeaway. Obviously, it's great to help the charities. It's great, that's the goal, is to raise money for good causes. But the amount of people that came together and just had fun playing games and enjoyed each other's company was also a big aspect for me.
Right, exactly. Like that's a huge thing, right? Like everybody kind of comes together.
I was at a COD event from home.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the big thing, right? Like, it's it's seeing everybody come together like that. It's just that I think that makes it not only obviously more fun for a lot of the group, because it's hard. Like I've noticed with charity events, like you're doing a great thing, right? But I've noticed with the ones that I've done by myself, it's a lot more exhausting than when you do it with right, when you're playing games with other people. Because like the first one I ever did was by myself, and I didn't play a lot of games with friends. I played a lot of single player games because I was like, I really need to concentrate on the charity.
Right.
But then I went, and the first one I did with Verge for that Destiny event, for the Game to Give Foundation, we played the entire week together. Like
you kind of lose,
and it was just like
seriousness.
Yeah, and that's what makes it fun. That's what brings in those viewers. So yes.
Yeah, but man, time passes so fast.
Dude, I wasn't even there, and I felt like
laughing.
Yeah, and that was the crazy thing. Like I wasn't even a part of it. Like I was watching you guys, and I felt like it was going by so fast. Like I would watch. Like the first night, I watched Verge for a little bit. Like I watched him, I think for probably the first hour, I had him up on my phone while we were hanging out and just shooting the shit with everybody at her mom's house. And like I turned off my phone, and next thing I know, we're on to the next person, and then we're on to the next person, and I'm like, holy, like, oh my god, like I can't keep up with all this. Like
time moved by so fast.
It was crazy, man. So
but
no, it was great. It was a great, not only great exposure for everybody, but for the team in general. And then obviously you guys did a hell of a lot of good out there in the world. So It was awesome, man. I'm glad we did it, and I can't wait to do the next one.
I can't either, honestly.
Yeah,
That's
no,
gonna be so fun.
yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a time. I'm like I said, that's a huge reason why I've kept streaming.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, welcome everybody. I know we kind of went right into it.
Yeah.
Nah.
That's just like the best way to go, is just dive right into it.
Yeah, right. We just dove right into it. I mean, we got the ball. I mean, usually Verge rambles on for like an hour to begin with. That's why the episodes are actually so long. When I started this, I was like, podcasts are normally like 30 minutes to an hour, but they're usually like an hour and a half to 2 hours because like that Verge just
all the tangents.
He just doesn't know how to shut up, man. He loves his own voice so much.
I mean,
we love you, Verge.
He does have a nice voice.
He does, dude. Okay, so this is actually funny, and I'm glad Verge is here for this. This is actually funny. So, one of the big reasons we went home this weekend also is so that the girlfriend could meet my parents for the first time. Because of COVID and everything, my dad has asthma, so that's like the last person we wanted to be around before we were vaccinated. So it finally happened, right? Like, let me tell you, like, I know I've discussed it before, but this is the weirdest relationship I've ever been in. Like, the fact that we're already living together, like, for a while now, for almost a year, and she hadn't met my parents until now. Like, it's just like, it's a crazy time to be alive right now. But so my parents actually started going back and watching the VODs on YouTube. And the first thing my stepmom said to me at lunch with them on Sunday was, "Man, who's that guy that you do the podcast with?" I'm like, "Oh, that's my buddy Verge. Like, we met through the gaming world. Like, he's an awesome human being, blah, blah, blah." She was like, "He's got a radio voice." And I'm like, "God damn it." I'm like, I'm going to have to go and tell him this now. And he's going to be so happy. And I'm just like, I was like, should I tell him? But of course I had to tell him. So I thought that was funny. He's got that very radio personality voice. So,
yeah. But no, I just want to say to Verge real quick that I appreciate everything he's done, especially getting all this last weekend together, like heading everything up. Yeah, I just want to say that real quick. Yeah, Verge. Yeah. So
if you guys in chat don't know, Verge pretty much put that whole event for the Aspire team together this weekend. So he absolutely killed it. Again, that's the reason that we gave him tonight off, because he deserves it. And although we miss him, I don't miss him that much. I tell you what, it's better than looking at a fucking Dallas Cowboys star the entire podcast.
True. I mean, wait, what?
Yeah, wait, what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so
get some tape.
So obviously this weekend for the Aspire family was absolutely fantastic. But getting away from that, because that's not what we're just going to talk about the entire podcast, guys. as much as I would love to, we are probably I don't really know. It was a good week. Obviously we have the first stage of Major 4 coming up.
Yep.
So we'll get into that in a little bit, obviously. But yeah, actually that's what I was thinking, Verge. I think we're gonna get into the Eternals trailer right now. Me and Bobby talked a little bit about it beforehand. To me it looks great. I mean, the cast alone is what's gonna get me interested in it. I don't really know the background to the Eternals. I don't know if you can talk more on that.
I briefly know a little bit about them, but not much.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fantastic teaser. It didn't tell us a lot. And that's the thing. I love the teasers because they don't tell us a lot, right? It just kind of gives us that, hey, here's the cast. Here's a little bit of what the action may be like, and here's an awesome trailer song that really gives you the chills and stuff when you're watching it, right? Like, that's my favorite part of trailers, is when like the song and the trailer match up so well, you just get like that, oh, that looks good.
Locked in.
Yeah, so I enjoyed what I saw from it. I don't have real expectations yet, because obviously we haven't really seen anything from, like, I can see it. There's a gnat flying around my room and I'm about to punch something. I'm looking at us right here, and I could see it. But anyways,
Just go whizzing right by.
yeah, I was like, "What the fuck is that?" But yeah, so obviously, I don't know what the expectations are yet because we haven't seen anything from this new phase of the Marvel universe. But I'm excited for it, and watching that trailer, and obviously the trailer that had all the movies that they've announced meshed together, like all that stuff, really gets me excited. And obviously, we've got TV shows coming as well. But anyways,
Loki's out next month.
Yeah, Loki's out next month. Is it next month or is it at the end of this month?
Or is it? Well,
I don't know. We'll look at that.
This month is pretty much this week. So
I felt like something was coming out at the end of this month for the Marvel universe. I don't know.
I don't know. I know
Basky or Verge, if you can look that up, what's the next Marvel thing? But anyways, your take on Eternals. Let's go.
I loved it. I know that what I was reading on Twitter was that a lot of people were making fun of the line of "we didn't interfere." They were really harping on that "we didn't interfere" because they were just making jokes with the whole Thanos thing and like,
you're right.
"Oh, you didn't think it was a good time to interfere with Thanos and all that?" I'm like, well, it's not really their world, I guess.
Right.
I mean, didn't really affect them, I guess.
But I mean, how many times?
I don't know.
But again, how many times can you say that throughout like the entire Marvel universe? Like when there's bad shit happening, like what is every movie going to be an Avengers movie? Like, like when
you're on, you never know.
I mean,
honestly, with the cast and how many people there are, it kind of feels like it could be.
June 9th is the release of Loki, so you're correct. Next month.
Okay.
But yeah, but that's
and they're releasing those on Wednesdays now, not Fridays.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, midweek stuff.
They probably don't want to battle with, since like a lot of the Star Wars stuff is releasing on Fridays. They probably don't want to battle with that.
Yeah, I knew that they were like tied to the Celestials and everything like that, but like I don't know a ton about them.
Yeah, neither do I. And that's
to really give my my nerd opinion, I guess.
Right. I get
my
that.
movie MCU opinion is like, wow, this is going to be good, but also there's a little bit of bias there because I can't remember the last bad movie the MCU pumped out.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean,
this is a teaser trailer essentially. There's not really much to it.
Yeah, but there's been there's been mediocre Marvel movies like Iron Man 2, good, but not like great, trash. But not When's the last time you've watched a Marvel movie and been like, I'll never watch that again. That was absolutely awful. Waste of my time, waste of my money. Like, yeah, Angelina Jolie's in it.
Kind of mythology kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
I guess I kind of got a little bit of a vibe of like,
hey Matt, thanks for the raid, brother.
Know if they were going to that mythology. I don't want to say religion kind of thing, but like the script kind of felt like.
Right.
Are they just kind of watching over people, doing their own thing, and only stepping in when necessary? The whole whatever. But
yeah, no, I again, I'm the same as you. I don't know a lot about it, but I think that's what excites me the most, right? Like I'm getting a part of Marvel that I don't know a lot about, and that's the first time in a long time. Because even when like Iron Man, like when all that stuff was happening, like I knew a lot of that, right? Like I knew the backstories, I knew like a lot of what they changed from the comic books and stuff. But with Eternals, it's like I really don't know shit, so it's nice going into it with a fresh mind on it,
No, and usually there's some kind of villain that they tease in some manner, but I don't remember seeing anything like that in the trailer.
But I mean, even if we did, I wouldn't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like usually it's pretty clear cut,
right? Like obviously we knew Loki was going to be the bad guy in the first Avengers movie and stuff like that, and then eventually it was all leading up to Thanos. Like we knew that, but it's like, but this I don't know enough about it. But they also they didn't really tease like who the bad guy was or what the bad thing was that was going to happen type thing,
And we're about we're about to get a lot of stuff thrown at us in such a short amount of time.
Right.
With Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. We're going to have like this now with the Eternals. Eventually you're going to have X-Men and mutants down the road. So you're going to have a lot of stuff and a lot of villains coming into it. So I don't really know where that's going, but from the first trailer, I think it's going to be good. So.
Oh yeah. Me and Verge talked about that, about Kronos kind of being the next guy. kind of being the next Thanos, because I think, because like he said there, the only two, I think he's the only Eternal that's stronger than Thanos. So I like how, Verge, take the night off, okay? If you're gonna take the night off, take the night off.
That's his abilities.
But yeah, I'm excited about it, and again, there's, like you said, there's so much coming into it. Like, it's incredible.
So the name is what I thought it was going to be. There was apparently an accident that gave him control over time. Kind of sounds
Kronos.
Yes, kind of. Yeah, it sounds kind of like that. And I'm
no,
like,
you don't head out. Well, you stay here.
I'm like, okay, well, that kind of makes sense if they're going through this, because now we're dealing with other worlds, we're dealing with different times, we're dealing with different stuff, and then even Loki, the trailer we get, they're dealing with like some kind of time authority. So
right,
maybe.
Yeah, no, it's again, it's a lot. Like I know who Kronos is. I just don't know a lot of what he is and where he came from and all that. So
yeah.
Man, Matt's leaving too. Like, why did I make this the Aspire podcast if the CEO of Aspire is not even going to sit here and watch?
Change my lighting.
You're just looking too pale there. We can tell you didn't get a lot of sun.
Can I look a little more human,
please? Dude, I have that trouble all the time. Please. I'm like, I have this light, here like you do, and it's just like every once in a while I'm like, man, I really need to get some sun. Yeah. Yep. Get out, bro. I'm like, damn.
Do you get out of the house? Absolutely not.
Nope. You can tell. Just watch anything I do on camera.
Yep.
But yeah, no, definitely excited. Definitely excited for Eternals. Yeah. Excited for all the new stuff. Like,
I am too.
Again, I mean, and to the point that we talked about earlier, I mean, the Falcon Winter Soldier, not great, but it was still good.
Very enjoyable.
It was still worth it.
Very enjoyable. I think it hit home on some themes.
Oh, 100%.
Like, there was a lot of themes in there that I think that they like. It's one of those things that people are going to point out, but I think it was big to talk about.
Yeah, no, 100%. It was.
And it's source material, so
Yeah. Thanks, Matt. Love you too. But yeah, so it's definitely an exciting time. I'm glad that we're finally getting there to that next phase, right? Because that's been the biggest thing. Like, ever since Endgame, it's what's the next step? Where do we go from here, right? So the fact that they have that and they knew exactly, like, they already had everything planned, and the fact that Endgame came out 2018, 2019, 2019, right? Because 18 was Infinity War. So 19. So I mean, it's only 2 years later, and they've already got this shit. Like they're going.
We're not on a schedule.
Yeah, we're not waiting. Like before, with a lot of these other like sagas and stuff, you'd be waiting like years and years before they start something new, and it's like,
I think that
Marvel's got it
too.
Oh, 100%, because it keeps everybody interested, right? Like, because now everybody's still got it fresh on their mind. It's only 2 years later, and you have all this stuff that happened with Endgame in your mind still, and now, we're on to the next step type thing.
Would love to be a fly on the wall in the writers' room.
I wouldn't. I think
as everyone is discussing their movie.
Yeah.
Even up to now, phase 4. Like, can you imagine having being in phase 2 and be like, okay, in phase 4, here's where we want to go. Let's get there.
And I think,
what?
Yeah, and I think I've mentioned it before, but there's something at the end. I think of it's one of the special features. It's either on Infinity War or Endgame, and a lot of the like big writers from a lot of the bigger films. So, what's his face that did Ragnarok? Obviously, yeah. So obviously Favreau. The guy that did Black Panther, like they're all at this round table and they're just talking about it. And I'm like, this is amazing. Like, I would love to see this every freaking day. Like, this is absolutely 100% what I need in my life. Like, it was just like to hear those guys talk. Yeah. So, and I know you're not like 100% into Star Wars like me and Verge are, but we did get some good news also. Again, Disney taking over a lot of these things. Probably the best thing. Like, I'm not the biggest supporter of Disney because of their past and everything. Obviously, they're not like, they've got a lot of bad blood, but them taking over like Star Wars and Marvel is probably the best thing to happen to like film in a long time. Which is so
weird because there are a lot of people that are saying Disney ruined Star Wars.
So the latest, so the last Star Wars set of films, so that last trilogy of the Skywalker saga, yes, like it wasn't as good as we all wanted it to be. Everybody was expecting to get that, oh, Disney is taking over. Like they've, obviously they did great things for Marvel. They're going to do the same thing for the Star Wars universe. And they kind of, they didn't get it as well as everybody had hoped. But the good news is now is that not only do we have Favreau involved with a lot of the Star Wars stuff, i.e. fucking Mandalorian, which is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I love that show.
But we also have Filoni, who Filoni was in charge of Clone Wars. He's also co-director and co-writer and everything. He's the creative brain alongside with Favreau in The Mandalorian. And they actually announced this week that he is officially a creative director in the Star Wars universe. So he's going to be involved in every single Star Wars movie, show, anything that we see going forward, which is absolutely incredible. Because that dude, he's the exact same as what they have going on with Marvel. He knows all the storylines. He knows what he wants to do with it. He knows how to tie everything in. Because like all the stuff we're seeing obviously with Mandalorian and him tying in with the storylines and everything, and then what he did with Clone Wars, what he's about to do with Bad Batch, or what he is doing now with the Bad Batch, like he's tying in all these loose ends that for obviously the last 40 years people have been wanting the answers to, right? Like, yes,
it's like finally,
yeah, right. Like, I mean, obviously we there's a lot of books and stuff that a lot of people, but it's like, who reads anymore, right? Like, it's a different era, like
True.
There's not many people that pick up a book anymore and read it, cover to back. Like, it's just not a big thing anymore. So he's answering a lot of those questions, just like what the guys with Marvel have done, like just what Favreau set up for the Marvel universe to do. It's you're not just making films to make films at this point. You're creating this giant storyline that answers every question you've ever had about it, right? So I thought that's obviously fantastic news. So hopefully when the next Star Wars plans and everything start to come out with the next big trilogy and everything, we have Filoni on it now, so I have nothing but faith
about that too, because I remember they announced all that stuff last year,
right? Yeah,
that
so
they're coming out with, but I didn't know if they had announced anything else.
Not,
I know Obi-Wan's supposed to come out soon,
right?
Yeah.
So like most of those things that they announced were shows. Right. Nobody knows. Like we're all expecting like a next big trilogy. We know we're away from the Skywalker saga now, but we don't.
People are happy about that.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like you're just beating a dead bush at this point,
like
right?
9 movies with the same family.
Which, I mean, he's the biggest. I mean, he is, for the most part, the most pivotal point in the Star Wars universe. So it makes sense, right? But now we're kind of like in that phase 2 of what Marvel's in now, right? Like we're gonna get all this new story that we've never heard of before, that we've never seen before. It's all fresh content for the people
that's what we talked about earlier. There's just more stories to tell.
There's so many, dude, and it's like incredible. So, like to your point earlier, being the fly on the wall in those writers' rooms, I honestly wouldn't want to be that, because I probably wouldn't be able to keep up, because like fair. Just thinking about the thought process that goes into all that stuff, because think about how Favreau wrote the first Iron Man before we really knew that there was going to be this entire Marvel, but they had that shit planned. And it's just like this phase 2 stuff. We're only 2 years later and they're already putting out new content after Endgame. And it's like they had all of this planned.
I like reading James Gunn's tweets on when he answers fans about how his creative process goes, or if Marvel or Disney gives him any stipulations on what he can and can't do, or if he has to throw something in there. But he was saying that each I guess movie has had their own interpretation of Thanos.
Right.
So that's why we've gotten different looks, but it's still really cool because there's still that flow there, at least to me.
Right. Yeah. No. 100%. Yeah.
I'm excited for Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh, I'm super excited to see.
Just really excited for it.
I'm so excited that it's
because there's a holiday special coming out too, I think.
Yeah, I think they said there was. So, I'm super excited. Again, I mean, how could you not be excited for this next phase?
Yeah.
All right. My watch is telling me I need to calm down. It literally just gave me a you need to chill out warning. Like your stress level's too high. I'm not stressed. I'm just like,
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm really
cool.
into it.
Verge, he needs you back.
Yeah, no. So moving on from that. So obviously we're super excited for all the Marvel stuff. I guess let's move into the CDL talk. Let's
Okay.
because I know we haven't talked with you. I think we talked at you maybe I think we had you on again for like the very beginning of the season. I don't even know. I think it was maybe it was about to start or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to get obviously your new thoughts, like what's changed in your mind, and then obviously we can run through, this first stage of Major 4.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess obviously from the beginning of the season till now, what has been kind of your major thoughts? Like, would have been obviously the big surprises to you, the big, well, I kind of saw this coming type thing. Have there been any of those for you?
I mean, the biggest surprise right now is still going to be Dallas. I don't think much can top that.
Right.
Is Dallas getting hooped to 100 Thieves, or not 100 Thieves, LA Thieves. I think that's going to be my biggest surprise because I didn't see that coming. I don't think many people saw that.
No,
coming,
I mean,
but
like when you have, and the point that I've made on here multiple times, it's like when you have the entire like CDL like pros and everybody like in awe that it happened. That's how like it's a big deal, right? Like nobody saw it coming.
I think my other surprise is, now I love Methods. Don't get me wrong, I love Methods. I think he's a funny guy and I think he's a good player. But like I didn't see Ultra being as good as they are. I don't know, especially with.
I don't think anybody
they played well towards the end of last year. I mean, they won that home series. They beat FaZe, but like I didn't see them going on as big of a tear this year as they are, especially without someone like Methods on their team. But that just kind of shows the caliber of players that are available,
right?
And anyone can step up. So,
anybody from the Challengers League, like you bring them in. You never know.
We're seeing that with a lot of teams.
Yeah,
these Challengers guys.
Yeah, so and then I don't think I honestly don't think anybody saw Ultra going the way they are right now. Because they finished off last year strong, yes, but they started out this season awful. Like they were, in my mind, the first two stages, one of the worst teams in the league. Like bottom, I had them bottom 4 through the first like 2 stages.
Ravens, pretty sure.
I had LAG, I had Toronto, and I had Paris and London as my bottom 4 teams through the first 2 stages.
See, that's the other thing too, is Dallas just got Vivid from LAG. So now what happens with LAG?
I mean, are they just kind of giving up on the season? Like I don't know.
I don't know.
But and then I mean that was a big surprise in the last major was London performed very well. Surprisingly, like coming into the, like even the last stage before this last major, like the stage 3 of major 3, like they played pretty well, and I was like, oh, is London on the come up? And after the way they finished that last major, like I think they're on the come up. Like they're doing something differently and it's working for them. They're not, it's when they play some of the teams now, it's not just a given like, London's gonna get destroyed for me. It's a well, London, if they play the way they've been playing, they could easily do this. I mean, they beat Dallas. I know that's not saying much right now because Dallas has not looked like themselves. And I know a lot of the, and I get this feedback from people all the time, and I don't know if you do or not, but like they just assume that I hate Dallas because of Crim and everything that happened between him and Scump and the fact that I'm an OG fan. Like that's not it. Dallas. No, I have absolutely
I'm just not a big fan more than anything.
Like I don't have any qualms against Dallas. Like if they do well, I'll cheer for them 100%. But like there's something there, like we've talked about with the Hook move, there's something there that just it didn't sit right with me. There's something going on in the background that doesn't sit well for me. It's just, it goes back to that Zuma video from, last week. that he put out, that it's about the it's about the mentality and the way you lead a team, really. And I just feel like there's no leadership on that team right now. Like, I look, I love Krim, I really do. I love him as a player because he's a phenomenal player, and I do love him because he says whatever's on his mind.
And there's a reason you win as much as you do.
Right, but I just
have as many wins.
Right, I just don't think he has that leadership quality built into him. And the reason that they did so well last year, not only because Clay is probably one of the best players we've ever seen in COD League, but he's got that leadership factor. I mean, look, you can't deny it anymore. I mean, he's potentially going to win a 4th ring this year with his 4th different team in 4 years. Like,
well, not just that, with the young guys.
Yeah, like, exactly.
He's just great working with the younger talent.
And imagine that team.
You saw that with Illy and Shotzzy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Shotzzy
and now
won.
You see with Hydra.
Right. You like look at what he did for Shotzzy last year. Shotzzy won MVP for a reason last year. Like, that dude was incredible last year, and now he's like, okay, Shotzzy, you gonna wake up any day? Like, he's doing well, right? But he's not doing it. In my mind, he's not competing anywhere near the level he was competing last year. Yeah, and it all of that always goes back to imagine that team. Imagine that New York team if Zuma was still there. Might be a completely different story. We might be York.
I'm actually still that sad that he's like.
Oh, 100%, dude. He was such a fun player to watch.
Yeah.
My God, he was incredible. So I could only, like I said, like, imagine if he was still on that team. It may be like FaZe may not be FaZe, right? Like, we may be talking about New York the way we talk about FaZe right now. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, yeah, I would agree. I think I have the same surprises and stuff you did. I think honestly, I think one of my big surprises is still Optic. I'm glad they kind of found their rhythm in this last major, and I hope that the momentum carries over. I have faith in them. I always have had faith in them. Like, I know I haven't exactly spoken the best of them this year, but don't get me wrong, guys. I will always support Optic. I will always be an Optic fan. Like, that's just at the end of the day, I bleed green and black. Like, it's that's just how it is.
Well, to that point, it's just like, I can't tell a player something he didn't already know.
Right. Yeah, they so, like, know
their my opinion on, like, wow, you should have done this.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there's a reason that stuff happened the way it did, and all the teams going through something, like, it's just they'll find a way to bounce back. I mean, this is all just leading up to champs anyway.
Right.
I mean, you want to win a major, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
you win a major,
you want to go into champs in a good spot, right? Like,
if you win 4 majors and don't win champs, like,
why does it matter?
Actually care?
Yeah, why does it matter? It's just like,
you don't get a ring for majors.
That's just like, I always go back to the year that the Patriots almost had an undefeated season, right? Sure, they won every game, but did they win the Super Bowl?
No, and it didn't matter.
So it didn't matter. Like, who cares? Damn. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Hey.
Damn. Oh, wow.
Ooh, why
did you delete that?
Tabasco's a Cowboys fan, man.
Oh, that's why he deleted it? Damn.
Hey, but Julio Jones doesn't want to come here either. It's fine.
Damn. All right, now you're just being a troll. I'm sorry, Crush, but he is a Cowboys fan, so
yeah.
I'm gonna need mod status.
Just to avoid that.
Oh my God, you guys, y'all keep it entertaining. I'll give you that. So yeah, CDL is going good. I gotta pull up this. Hold on, I gotta pull up this schedule again.
Yep.
I had it open. I don't know why I closed it. And actually, we're gonna do it differently this week. We're gonna get Bobby's takes instead of mine this week, since he's only here every so often.
You're putting me in a tough spot. But
I am.
Accept.
All right, so we're gonna run through this.
Okay.
We're gonna get
like a rapid fire kind of thing.
We can do that. I mean, that's what me and Verge usually do. It doesn't have to be rapid fire. It's up to you. We can do
I'm
rapid
down
fire.
for whatever you want.
All right, let's go rapid fire. All
I'm
right.
on your time. I'm on your time.
All right. So we're gonna do this differently. Bobby's gonna give us his take this week instead of me giving mine, especially after that major. I was terrible that man. That was the worst week I've had since the season began, man. That was awful. Let's see. Okay, so first match we got. This is easy. Paris versus FaZe.
I'm just kidding. FaZe 3-0.
FaZe 3-0. All right. Next we got next match.
Like Paris could potentially steal a map, but it still doesn't matter. That's going to be a pretty easy series.
I would say maybe against somebody else, but against FaZe or against FaZe or Ultra right now, I don't think Paris is last in my mind.
Yeah.
They're the worst team in the league, and I hate to say that because. Anyways,
they're still better than me, but yeah. It's
right.
Which is crazy,
yeah, I can't.
Which is crazy.
Again, no offense to Paris. If you guys ever see this, I love you guys, and y'all are way better than I could ever imagine being a COD. But right now, you're my worst team in the league. I'm sorry. I love you guys. All right.
Bella did it.
Yeah, Bella did it. Let's go. Next match: Florida versus Ultra.
Okay, so Florida has this weird thing where they play really good against top teams.
Yep.
And while I don't think they'll win, I think that's going to be a closer series than most people probably think. I think that could go to Game 5.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Optic took him to a Game 5. I think most people saw Ultra winning that 3-1.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
as an Optic fan, I wanted a 3-0, but
Right. But I think we also saw that going 3-1 because of the way they played coming into the major. Like.
Yeah, I could see that going to a Game 5.
Next, which this one's a tough one because we don't know how the new Dallas. Yeah. We don't know who the new Dallas. What new Dallas? Like, Jesus, I can't talk.
Vivid's gonna start, but I don't know what they're gonna look like.
We don't know what Dallas we're gonna get this weekend. But London versus Dallas.
Honestly. I feel like Dallas.
I think Dallas too. I like.
I think Dallas can take that one.
Look, at the end of the day, yes, Dallas has performed pretty bad the last couple of weekends. But they're still a top team for a reason, right? Like they can't be. I have every faith in me that Dallas is not going to be trash the rest of the season. There's just no way. I don't think that's in their blood.
I don't think so either. Like I said, this is all prep for champs. So you get to the end of the season, everybody's hitting their form. I think Dallas will be fine. It's still, again, the Hook thing just baffles me, but that's neither here nor there at this point.
I am Bella. I'm having a mini stroke. It's fine. I'm just so excited that Bobby's here.
He misses Verge, so he's. Okay, fine. All right, cool. I don't blame you. Jesus.
No.
You didn't have to say it.
I didn't say it. I just.
You agreed. That's bad enough.
All right. Okay. Next we got Minnesota versus Chicago.
That's going to be interesting because Accuracy is now benched and Major Maniac is back in his starting role.
So what Minnesota team are we going to get?
I don't know if Major Maniac is an upgrade over Accuracy. And the way that Rocker's been playing as of late, I can...
Do they get worse from this point, you're thinking then?
I mean, I don't think they necessarily get worse, but I don't think they get better.
Okay.
And that's for that team, that's probably worse.
I agree.
You make a change like that expecting to improve, but
nope, I get that. I definitely get that.
Fuck you, Nick. Sorry.
It's fine. Paris.
You?
Next we got Paris versus Minnesota.
That hurts, Nick. Minnesota. But that's gonna be a close game too. Nice. I think.
Ooh.
I think it's Minnesota. I think.
Karina, thank you for the follow. So next we got Seattle versus LA Thieves.
They just picked up Classic.
Right.
Starting role. So you've got I think a former teammate. I think a former teammate of Octane. I'm pretty sure they played together.
I think so. Yeah, I think they played together at some point.
Like LG maybe.
Right.
But I don't know. There's not right now. I don't feel like there's a lot that's going to help Seattle. And against the
No,
Thieves,
they've looked bad. Thieves have like
Thieves are fluky right now.
They
until I see otherwise. Otherwise.
Yeah, they had. Yeah, it's whatever. Look, it's fine. See, we both can't talk tonight, guys. It's fine. No, I mean that's how I felt about LA all year. They're hit or miss for me. Like they show these spurts of like greatness, and then like they lose to teams that they should easily beat. So
to Thieves' credit, though, the flukiness was before the Hoop trade.
True.
Or acquisition. So with Hoop there, I mean, they just need that little bit of practice time, and I think they'll be fine. So,
right. Yeah. Exactly.
I just think Thieves take that 3-1 at best.
Okay. Next you have, this is an easy one. You have New York versus LAG.
Yeah, New York. Yeah. Hydra's gonna drop 35 in the first hard point.
Probably.
So, Hydra's big thing for me has always been his search and destroy. Like I look at his stats for search and destroy, and they're not great. His slaying ability is great, but
You know what? I look.
search and destroy is.
I don't know what that means, Karina. I look like what?
Sam looks like
Are we waiting? Is this a build up?
there's a punchline coming somewhere.
There probably is a punchline.
Killer. Oh, from back in the day.
Wow.
Yo.
Wow. That's kind of hurtful. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, kind of.
I feel like I'm a better looking guy than that.
Yo.
It's fine.
I was not expecting that.
Dude, that's a name drop right there. Killa?
Yeah,
Are you
right?
kidding me?
Killer? Yeah. Oh my god.
Damn. He was a beast. That he was. He definitely deserved that. I remember the first time I think I watched Killa, I was like, damn, that name's fitting. Like that dude slayed out the first time I ever watched him. I was just like, wow. Next we have
like incoherent Twitter rants I read from that man.
oh my god.
Like
That dude was something else, man. Yeah. We got next we got London versus Florida. That should I think that's gonna be a good one.
that's gonna be a good one, but I still think Florida takes that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, depending on what London we see. Like I said, London, in my mind, looks like they're on the come up. I could be completely wrong. But
I feel like London threw away a lot of games this last stage.
they did a lot better in the major than I thought they would.
Played well in the major, so if they can keep riding that, sure, but
You could say, I mean,
you can't start slow. We've seen that. We've seen that in the way these matches work. You can't start slow.
Yeah, but I've also I mean, you can kind of make the argument, that same argument for Optic right now. Like, are they gonna continue that rhythm from the last major, right?
Yeah.
Because that's been their biggest thing this year is the inconsistency. Next we have Ultra versus Dallas.
Ultra.
You think it'll be close or
3-1.
3-1?
3-1.
Okay. I'm gonna give him the benefit of doubt just because again I have faith in Dallas. I'm gonna go 3-2 Ultra.
I just want to see. I got to see how Vivid works because again, Ultra's playing way out of their mind,
but I think also
Vivid will help him in Surge.
Yeah, no, he will. The only reason I'm giving Dallas a little bit of the benefit of the doubt is because they actually play this weekend before this. This is Ultra's first game. So. Right? Oh no, it's not. They play Florida. Never mind. They open up against. Okay,
Ultra
so never.
Florida.
Who knows then? I'm still going 3-2 Ultra.
I feel a little bit unfair giving Florida more of advantage than I do Dallas right now, but Florida hasn't also made changes.
Right.
So I think that's where my levels.
You think Dallas has to work together a little bit before they fully get?
They might need a little bit. I mean, they just had Fellow in there,
right?
And now they're bringing in another person. So
they're having to switch up so many styles. Yeah.
They might just need a little bit more time to mesh, and that's a big match.
Right, huge match.
So it's not like they're playing Paris.
No.
So if they were playing Paris, then I'd be like, yeah, easy, duh, yeah. There's no hesitation.
And then we finish off the weekend Optic phase.
Yeah, I love Optic, but
yeah.
I mean, like
they showed us a lot more this past major for sure.
Yeah, Surge, man. Surge. and
they've been, that's the thing, they've been,
can't fall into a 120-point deficit in hard point.
Right, but then they turned around and did that same thing to Ultra. So I mean,
yeah,
but they again, it's the consistency. They've been really good on search the last few weeks. It's just
I think too,
they've lost some on their respawns, and I don't like. It seemed like they got it back this weekend because I don't know what it was this last major, but something in their respawns, it seemed like they changed the way they actually did things. So I think that helped a lot.
So here's the other thing with FaZe is, or at least in my opinion, FaZe has Pac coaching them
right
at S&D, who also coached the previous, Optic, which was previously Huntsman. You don't think he has a book of notes on them?
Oh, 100%. But that's what.
If you're his coach, do you tell them strats to help you, or do you tell them strats to just counter Optic? It's like Scump's always gonna go here.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I think. But so, and this is my thing, right? Like, you have to think how many other people have those same notes on these guys.
Sure. Yeah.
Especially Scump and Formal, right?
It's a little different for Pac, though. I think.
100%. But like, at the same time, Scump and Formal have been doing this for fucking years now. Like, everybody's got their notes on them and how they play.
I mean, they have like pages.
Yeah.
Round counts, map count, like round counts, maps. Like, they know. Absolutely, they know. I'm just saying. I think the X factor in this is going to be how Pat gets them prepared.
Right. Yeah. No. I was stating that more in general of the struggles that they've had this year in general. Right. Like, everybody kind of has these pages and pages on how like Scump and Formal play. So I think that's been a little bit of the struggle, and that's why I think we saw them do a lot better this weekend, because I saw Scump and Formal make rotations that I haven't seen them make all year. I saw them in places I haven't seen them all year. So I think they finally, I think they figured it out. They just have to keep it consistent.
They got to stay out of that one corner on Moscow.
And they got to all not look at the B-bomb site.
A-bomb.
Or
it's A-bomb. Where the monument is.
What? No. I'm talking about raid.
Oh yeah.
They got all not look at.
Okay, so that play was so weird to me because they got bombed down and then literally everyone died.
Because they weren't looking behind them.
Like, come on now,
If you go back, so it was almost that exact same situation that happened on Moscow. As soon as they planted bomb, everybody who was it? So, I forget who was in Laundry. Was it Envoy?
Cammy.
Oh, it was in Cammy.
Was it? I'm pretty sure it was Cammy, and I could be.
Well, no, Cammy came into Laundry. There was somebody from Optic in there, and he only when he was coming into Laundry, he only looked back in Ultra spawn for a second, and then he turned to B-bomb where everybody else was looking. It was almost that same situation that Moscow. Everybody was looking the same way. And then all of a sudden it was like nobody was expecting them, I think, to come from their spawn. But they played it patient. They waited for that bomb to go down, and then Ultra just freaking stormed the castle. And they caught them.
How you want around?
No, dude. Like, especially at round 11, like
it's
game
hard
5.
Sometimes to get that bomb down.
Yeah.
When you get that down, a lot of times have the advantage.
Exactly. So
you gotta find your spots and then just
timing,
get trades.
Yeah, timing was freaking everything there. Like, it was the 1 second they were all looking the same way, and Ultra just bum rushed them, and it was man. So yeah, there you guys have it. Should be a good stage. We're
that's just week 1.
Yeah, we're coming down to the wire. We're coming down to the wire here. I mean, how many? What is this, the last major, or do we have one more after this?
One more after this, and then champs.
So we're coming down to the wire, guys. Only a couple more months of this, and
the next major is gonna be on LAN.
Yeah, this major, right?
Yeah, this
because it happens in June, and that's when they're bringing LAN back. So.
Yep.
Yeah, we're getting LAN back. Hot sauce. Getting LAN back for this major. All the stages are still going to be played online, but whether or not they go, they haven't said whether or not they're going full LAN for the last stages and the last major, and then also champs.
I as much as I was talking about this with a friend the other day. As much as I want to go to champs, if it's available and open to the public,
right?
Like, what's that going to look like? Are people going to have to?
Do they open it up just to people that can prove that they've been vaccinated?
And are people going to want to have to do that just to
Right.
go? And
Yeah.
if you're in there, are you still going to have to wear, like, depending on where it's
Well,
held?
I mean, my
You're
whole thing
vaccinated,
is
but
right,
know.
but my whole thing is that they're already lifting restrictions on vaccinated people wearing masks. So, like,
well,
how do
yeah.
you? Because I like when we went
I mean,
to
Texas has kind of been doing
well,
restriction lifting
exactly,
for a while. So.
exactly. And my whole thing is like, look, half the freaking league is in Dallas. Like, you guys just need to do all the events, like land events, like get everybody here.
I mean, they're doing it at Esports Stadium.
Yeah.
Which is a nice venue.
Yeah, exactly.
So if they're doing it there, that's fine.
So I don't know. I don't know what their plans is. I don't really care. I mean, I will be happy either way because either way we're getting land back. Yes, I would love to be there and watch it in person with obviously everybody that can make it. But at the same time, I'll be more happy watching LAN from YouTube than I will watching online from YouTube. So
yeah,
super excited about it. But we're getting there, guys. We're making moves to have LAN back full time, and I know we're all happy about it. Yeah,
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a fun time.
it's gonna be
I
good.
just want to go back to a baseball game. That's what I want to do. I just don't.
Yeah.
Now that I'm like fully vaccinated, I wouldn't feel as
Right. Yeah.
I
Same.
guess,
Same.
bad about sitting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd still follow whatever restrictions I needed to, of course. But
Right.
like now, I don't feel as weird
didn't
about either
they-
doing that or going back to the gym or anything like that.
Well, it was basketball just announced something. The NBA just announced something. What, like today or yesterday, that they're gonna start opening up sections in the stadiums specifically for vaccinated people for the playoffs. So
Yep.
that's
Saw that.
again, it's a move in the right direction. We're getting there. I think I saw a stat the other day that there's like half the states in the United States are almost 50% vaccinated now, which is crazy to think about.
Nice.
So we're making moves. Like I said, it's not a lot of states. I want to say it was half, but that I could be wrong. I could be just talking to my ass right now. But I just remember I was like, wow, that's a lot more than I thought it was going to be, right? So, yeah, for first dose, Nail. There you go. Not fully vaccinated for the first dose. My bad. Speaking of baseball,
Let's go.
how's your Rangers doing?
Wouldn't you like to know? No, I'm
Wouldn't
just
you
kidding.
like to know?
No, I mean, hey, they just played against was it the Yankees last week as well, and they took the first. No, did they take the first game?
They took one of the games. I don't
I think
remember.
they took the first game and then lost 3. They beat Garrett Cole and then lost everybody else.
Like, how do you
what?
beat Garrett Cole and
Like-
then lose to the rest of them?
And then how many? I don't want to talk about it, Tabasco.
Damn.
It's been a lot. Yeah.
And they almost swept the Astros though, so
and
I
then
can't really talk.
And then they swept the Astros just recently.
Hey,
But
did they
the
sweep
Astros-
them? I thought the Astros
Yeah.
took one of the games.
No, they won yesterday like 3-2.
Yeah, but I thought the Astros won on Saturday. Am I wrong?
No. Yeah, they swept the Astros, and
Why did I
then
think
but
the
you guys
Astros-
swept us the first series.
Right.
You have one more game on us because it was a 4-game set instead of 3.
That makes sense.
But yeah, they're okay. They're not like
Oh yeah, you guys did. Why did I think that we won one of those games?
like
Oh, my goodness.
our pitching's not terrible. It's way better than I thought it was gonna be, but
Yeah.
it's not great
Yeah.
either.
It's not great, but y'all looked good against us. I mean,
we have
obviously.
our moments.
Yes. But there's a image the boss out, okay? All right.
Uh-oh.
Ask him something.
I'm
But no,
scared.
I think you guys are definitely making some improvements. Look, I was really scared about this year and our bats without Springer, and we've done a lot better than I thought that we were gonna do. So I'm happy. I wish we still had Springer. I miss Springer. Why you look like Jesse Pinkman on crack? The guy from
Yep, Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad? That's on crack?
That's cool. I mean, hey, to
Alright.
each their own.
Yeah, that's
I mean, at least you know who I am, you know?
yeah, that's fair. All right, got some weirdos in the chat. That's fine.
All good.
So, But yeah, it was a good series though, for sure. I know you guys swept us, but
It's still an upgrade from what I look like currently. So I guess, hey, do you?
But yeah, so it was a good series. It was some good baseball this weekend for sure. There was definitely a couple of those games that could have gone either way. So, but yeah, baseball's, it's getting there. We're almost already halfway through the season, which is crazy to me.
I miss Ron Washington.
Ron Washington, yeah.
Man was energetic as a manager.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, like we talked about, before we started the podcast tonight, I feel the same way about AJ Hinch. And I mean, I get that we had the scandal and everything, and I get it. But at the same time, you made the point, like, you still have to be able to manage a baseball game.
Yeah.
And
regardless, you do have to do that. So.
And he's he's a hell of a manager, man. He's again, I think he's going to do great for Detroit. I see them come up soon. I think he'll do wonders for them. So we'll see in due time.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either. So
quite honest with you.
So okay, cool story, bro.
Their age, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, it's been a good season so far. I'm excited. I hope that we don't just see the Dodgers again in the World Series this year, because it's getting old. Like, I'm pretty sure any team can go out there and pay a shit ton of money.
A subtle flex or what?
What
are you talking about in general? The Dodgers? I thought you were talking about Dodgers in like Houston again. I'm like, is that?
Oh no, flex? I honestly, dude, I love my Astros, but
yeah,
I don't think they have a shot at making the World Series this year. Right now, I don't even know if they'll make the fucking playoffs, dude. I mean, they're top of AL West, but
if there's one thing I learned years ago when the Rangers got to the World Series, it's not always the best team that gets there. It's a team that's like the hottest at the time.
Well, and that's what.
So like if Houston catches fire, or if any team catches fire.
Well, they've showed it, right? Like, because they went back to the World Series, obviously after the whole scandal. They got destroyed by the Nationals, but they still went back. Almost made a good run last year in the playoffs again. Like, yeah, it's not always, but that's kind of my point, right? Like, the Dodgers on paper, easily the best team in baseball because of the money that they had to pay to get all those players, but doesn't necessarily mean that they're a for sure win in the World Series and everything.
Tampa Bay has won 10 straight right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tampa Bay. They've won 10 straight.
The Padres look great. Like, the Padres have played very well against the Dodgers so far, and I think that's like one of their biggest competition. 11 straight. Okay.
Even better for them.
So,
if you're a Rays fan.
Yeah. Nah. They again. I mean, the Rays.
Not so much if you're a Yankees fan, huh, Nick?
Yeah. I mean, the Rays went last year, and they are. Again, we talked about this. The Rays went last year, and they're one of the least expensive teams in the league. Like, I think they were bottom 4 when they went last year. And it's like, so that just goes to prove you can pay all the money in the world for all the talent in the world, but in baseball that doesn't mean you have a for sure thing. I mean, look at the Yankees this year. They have no offense, Nick. This isn't a shot at Nick. Look at how much the Yankees have paid for, obviously, people like Garrett Cole. They have the Aaron Judges and everybody. Like, they have Stanton. Like, look at
they're just late bloomers.
Look at how much they. Yeah, I mean, they could go on a run, but they. If you were gonna tell me that they were gonna start out the way that they started out this year, I would have laughed in your face.
I think most people would have.
Yeah, but
looking up and down that lineup.
Yeah,
no shot. I'd want to be a pitcher throwing to them.
No shot, dude. Like, the only pitcher I would throw against them is Garrett Cole, and guess what? He's on their team. Like,
I mean,
so it's just it's been
throwing some batting practice.
Yeah,
sometimes. I actually wondered if teams do that, but I guess they don't.
I don't think they do. I don't
think you can.
Yeah, I don't.
That's too much money going into one arm to do that.
To just sit there and be like, here you go.
Well, it's just like, you don't want to. No, I mean, I don't mean like that. I don't mean like batting practice like that. I mean like live simulations. You don't want to ruin somebody's arm.
Nobody mentioned the Reds, R-Dub. Nobody cares about Ohio sports.
Who are the Reds? Who are they again?
Cincinnati.
Yeah, like who? But who?
Oh, I have absolutely no idea.
Gotcha.
Oh, again, it's Ohio sports. I honestly, for the longest time, I didn't realize Ohio had sports teams.
True.
You're not wrong, Hardo. Sure. You're not wrong. I meant professional sports teams, okay?
Got him. Ohio State.
So
are you an Urban Meyer fan?
Oh, hell yeah. I was a huge Urban Meyer fan. I love Urban Meyer.
So I don't want to, I'm sure you have an area where you want to go with the next topic, but like, how do you feel about the Jacksonville Jaguars signing Tim Tebow?
That was, God, like, bro, just give it a rest.
Do you think that, like, I guess that's a form of nepotism, kind of, yeah?
I mean, I guess,
they've been
yeah.
friends, and he was a coach for Tim a long time ago. They won championships.
Like, here you go. Let me give you one more shot at being mediocre at sports. Like, man, yeah, no. Look, if Tebow would have come into the NFL as a tight end, I would have been for it, right? But now it's like, bro, you're out of your prime at this point. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know, so. I just, yeah, I don't know. And I've been asked that a couple times too about how I think Urban Meyer's going to do in Jacksonville. And honestly, I mean, how many times have we seen college coaches absolutely fail at the professional level? So it's just, look, I hope nothing but the best for him, because I do like him, because he's
Chip Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, he's a phenomenal coach, obviously. Like, I mean, look what he did with Florida, and then he went on and did it. We thought he was done after Florida, and then he came to Ohio State, and look what he did with Ohio State. Like, he turned them back into, one of the best programs in college sports. So, but it's just different, right? Like, with college sports, it's all about recruiting and who you recruit and stuff like that. And yes, you have that with the NFL, but guess what? There's money involved, and that's mainly what the players care about. How much are you going to pay me? It's not about, oh, you have a great environment and a great school built around you, and you can make sure that I start and stuff. It's more about how much are you going to pay me? So
I was listening to somebody talking about the whole Tebow situation. They're like, there's no way. They're saying that there's no way they think Tim Tebow gets cut. I mean, he has a 1-year deal that's worth less than $1 million, but none of it's guaranteed.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like,
I mean, he's guaranteed. I think he's guaranteed like the league minimum, which is like 300,000.
And there's like this weird thing where I feel like it does bring a circus around your team.
Right. It's kind of.
It's all centered on Tim Tebow, not on the young quarterback that you just drafted.
Exactly. Which,
so in a way, it's kind of good, but in a way, it's also like,
right.
Let's leave that alone.
Yeah. Like, yeah. No, I didn't agree with it. I thought it was a like a media type move, right? Like, here you go. Here's something. I haven't been playing baseball. Well, he was awful at baseball, so just like he was awful at being a quarterback. Matt,
but he's not even playing quarterback now. Yep. He's playing tight end. People are like, why didn't you want to do this like 7 years ago or whatever?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he would have come into the league, if he was drafted and they drafted him as a tight end and he played tight end, I would have been all for it, because I thought that's what he should have done the entire time. But he came in as a quarterback, and
I mean, I never made it past AA. What are you saying, Nick?
Yeah, Nick. What are you saying, Nick? I never made it
with your chest.
Never made it past college. So what are you saying, Nick? God.
Say it with your chest.
But yeah, so it's just, it was a weird move for me. Like I said, I mean, how many times have we seen these college coaches kind of do dumb things just to kind of start their career off in the NFL? So just like Chip Kelly trying to bring his fucking signals to the NFL. Clearly that didn't work. So, but yeah, I didn't, did the Jets try him at tight end and he failed there too? I don't remember that. They may have. I never cared about Tim Tebow. Like, I never once did I say, oh, this guy's going to be good at the professional level. Like, I was never a thought in my mind.
I don't know. I always liked him. But I think
he's a good guy.
I think there was a lot of more to do with nobody cared much for him, I guess. I was like the opposite. I'm like, yo, leave him alone.
Yeah, no.
I don't know, man.
I get it. The
dude won games, and at the end of the day, isn't that what it's about?
No, Matt Prater won games, okay? Tim Tebow did not win those games.
I mean, you got to get in field goal range.
That's true. I'll give you that.
You got to get down the field somehow.
Gotta get that, yeah.
I mean, to be fair,
something.
they had a pretty
stellar defense.
Yeah. So, like, to be fair.
Yeah, but anyways, normally this is because I don't have anything else to talk about. Do you? You got anything that comes to mind?
No, I think I'm good. I just wanted to know what you thought of that, because like I was wondering if you thought that was a form of like nepotism, because they are friends.
Yeah, I mean,
and if that sets like some kind of dangerous precedent for the league, because there's a lot of guys that are vying for a spot, and it's like, okay, you've got a guy who hasn't played the NFL for so long, and now you're just bringing him in on a whim.
Right, like you're just like I'm pretty sure the conversation went like, look, I can bring you in, but you have to be a tight end. You know, like. I agree. It very well could have been like they've been so close for so many years that, you know, Urban Meyer was like, and then I didn't like it. I thought it was dumb. It just made no sense to me.
There's a lot of people that didn't like it. There's a lot of people in the league that didn't like it. Not just like personalities on TV. There's a lot of like players that didn't really care much for it.
Yeah, exactly. So it just, it didn't make any sense to me. But
then you've got Trey Burton showing his support for it. So
yeah, who knows? Who freaking knows, man? Whatever. I couldn't care less. Like it's the Jaguars again. I like Urban Meyer, the college football coach, not necessarily. We'll see about NFL. I'll never be a Jaguars fan, but I can root for Urban Meyer.
I'm excited to see how they do with Lawrence.
I am too. I have my mixed feelings about Trevor Lawrence and how he's going to be in the NFL. He looks like an NFL style quarterback. Just the way, his skill level and everything. He seems like a professional quarterback and that he'd excel. So we'll see. I just have, I don't know. I have my doubts, but at the same time, he could be the next, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady type. So
yeah,
we'll see. You never know. Yeah, I mean, I had all my reservations about Deshaun Watson, and look how that turned out. Well, not now, but before there were 24 women.
You always hope like your high draft picks, especially if it's a QB, pan out. You just unfortunately never know. Like sometimes it's system, sometimes it's like their skill set doesn't translate well in the NFL.
Right. Which is what I've always said about
scouts don't always know as much as they think they do.
Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. It's one of those things
for kids who don't get scouted, and it's like, wow, look at all this talent that could possibly go to waste.
Oh, right. Like that's
so
an awful. But I mean, that's what I've always said about like Alabama quarterbacks. Like it's like in my mind, it's the system they're in. Like they look great sometimes, but when's the last time an Alabama quarterback has won a Super Bowl? I feel like it's a Nick Saban system thing, and they never translate well. That's just me.
Fan that hurts still, because like
I get that.
You got Vince Young, who did nothing. You've got Colt McCoy, who unfortunately has done nothing. To be fair to Colt McCoy, his career ended before it started. When he was drafted by the Browns, and then he took that nasty hit by Pittsburgh.
Right. Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, he got.
But that just goes to show you.
And then never started again, I don't think.
Right, and that just goes to show you that kind of gives you an insight into that whole process. Like if you're gonna draft these young QBs and start them early, you've got to be able to protect them. You have to be able to protect them. I will always go back. I'll always go back because obviously, I was still a kid. Well, not really a kid, but I grew up when the Texans like started as an organization, and I will always go back to David Carr. And there's no doubt in my mind that David Carr could have been a much better quarterback had he had the protection. I really think he could have done great things. So I mean, I don't think he was going to be like a future and who knows, he may have been, but I don't think he was going to be like, the next best quarterback in the NFL, right? I don't think he was going to be, Tom Brady or Peyton Manning level or Drew Brees, but I think
better than the shade of what we saw.
Yeah, the shitty shade of what we saw of him, like that.
The one who was just like, oh, we got Houston on the schedule.
Yeah, bet that's going to be. Let's put in our third string guys because they need the stat line. So it's just like, yeah. But anyways,
Well, I mean, Tennessee was like that for a long time too.
yeah, I mean,
So-
exactly. And to Vince Young's, defense, I never liked Vince Young. Obviously, I grew up an A&M fan, so obviously that was back in the A&M UT rivalry days. So I never
Kinda missed
liked.
that, to be honest.
Oh, I think everybody does. Everybody does. Like even people that didn't go to the schools miss it. Like it gets talked about all the time about if we'll ever see because A&M's contract with Arkansas playing at Dallas Stadium is over, and everybody was trying to get them to sign something with UT to play up there. Like that would be the game that they played up there now, which I think would have been,
A lot of eyeballs and a lot of money.
bro, so much money. Like that's one of the biggest rivalry in college sports. Like it still gets talked about that. Like everybody talks about how everybody thinks A&M moved to the SEC because they got tired of getting their asses beat by UT every year. Like it's always been a big thing.
no.
So
I think if that was the case, they wouldn't have done as well as they have. I mean, they've held their own.
yeah, they have. I mean,
For sure.
obviously they did a lot better when during the Manziel era. I don't think anybody expected that to go the way it did.
I don't know, Tabasco, UT and Kansas is shades lower than any UT A&M would be.
This is true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I get where he's coming
You're
from.
talking about the two biggest schools in Texas.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, when the biggest you have right now with Texas is out of state rivalry.
But yes, UT is definitely the Dallas Cowboys of like the college football world. Well, they used to be. I'd probably give that edge to obviously like Alabama now because they've just been so good for so long. But for the longest time, yes, UT was like the Dallas Cowboys. Like they were college football's, America's team. They were, it didn't matter how much you hated them or stuff. You couldn't keep them out of your mouth, right? So.
Yeah, they do get
No,
a lot
they
of
do.
money, and
They
which
do.
is why the coaches have to win or they're out.
Right, exactly. That's nobody, when I was growing up, if you would have told me that Mac Brown wouldn't retire as the head football coach of UT, I would have laughed in your face. But then he stopped winning games and he was gone. So,
And then he won with North Carolina.
yeah, dude, they looked
What?
they looked way better. Like what? Yeah, dude, that running back they had, my God,
Yeah.
that dude was incredible. Like Mac Brown still got it. I don't care what UT says. Mac Brown still got it.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, this is normally the part we kind of end the show with chat asking questions. So if you guys have any questions out there, it could mainly for Bobby because he's not here all the time. But whatever questions you have, no, definitely put Bobby on the spot, guys. Make him
Okay.
make
That's
him
cool.
feel uncomfortable.
I mean, I already do. That's fine.
That's fair. I forced Bobby to be here against his will.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
I said, "You better do this, or I'm coming for you. You better do this, or I'll go break Dak's other ankle." That's bad. No, I don't.
That's kind of mean,
Yeah.
actually.
No, I hope all the best for Dak. I don't.
I don't wish any ill on players.
No, hell no. I've been there. Like,
I
no,
think-
I would never wish that
Yeah.
on anybody. I've been there.
Like, doesn't matter if you like the team or not. Like, you can hate the team, but I don't wish injury on players. It's their
See-
livelihood.
See, there you go, Bobby. You got a question.
Why is Sam such? Well, because there's nothing to root for with Houston.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I got to root against something. So I might as well. There used to be for a little. There was a little shining spot where it was like, hey, Houston's got a great football team, and it very quickly disappeared.
Houston's football team disappeared, and the lawsuits appeared.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, that's basically
Houston's-
where Houston is at.
It's like Bob McNair passed away, Cal McNair entered, the whole fucking thing. Just
And then to make matters worse,
their star quarterback
no
back.
James Harden for their basketball team either.
Oh, dude, I saw that coming from a mile away. Why would?
No, but it's just like
Yeah.
when it rains it pours kind of thing.
It's like why would you expect him to stay? You guys can't. You guys continuously get beat. I would 100%. I would have made the same move. Like bye. I'm out.
I just want to let you know how outnumbered you are in this chat when it comes to Cowboys fans.
Oh, 100%. I don't doubt that. That's
Nick,
fine.
Myself, Tabasco,
Wait, how is
Karina.
Nick a Dallas Cowboys fan and a Yankees fan? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. That's a weird thing. But
That
it
makes
works.
absolutely no sense.
So there's 4 people right there. Karina.
Like, how are you not a Giants fan?
At least.
That's fair.
Yeah, this has been fun.
You know, it is what it is. People love bad things. It's fine. I get it.
Wow. Yeah, we have been pretty bad recently. It's fine.
Like I'm fucking.
I don't know.
Like
okay,
like I'm one to
Dan
talk.
Quinn is going to be able to change around all this stuff, but maybe with OTAs
Maybe
and in-person stuff,
maybe
that'll change.
Maybe.
Who knows?
That's okay. All right.
Fair.
Touche indeed. Like that's
Fair.
That's I'll never understand that. She explained it to me one time. I still don't understand it. But no, yeah, like again, obviously, a lot of the hating for Dallas is just for the memes because you know it's Dallas. But I really like I've always been on the side that Dak's not worth top quarterback money, but I still like Dak, right? Like I still hope he does good, and I hope that they eventually come back. I mean, obviously, I think football's better with Dallas being a good football team. Like obviously, we all love to give Dallas shit for being bad because it's fun, because they're finally bad.
For most people, it's just fun.
Yeah, like it's fun that they're bad now, like because they were so good for so long. Like they were the Patriots before the Patriots. Like, you know, but at the same time, like I'm a sports fan, dude. I think football's better when Dallas is competing. Like, especially in that division, if New York and Dallas are like battling, bro, I love that. I absolutely love that.
Everybody likes a good rivalry.
Oh yeah, 100%. But again, I just think
and that could be like general NFL fans with Dallas. That's a rivalry right there.
Yeah, I mean, I just think but I think that entire division, I mean, minus Washington, but I think when Philly, New York, and Dallas are competing, bro, those are some of the most. I mean, look at the New York Philadelphia rivalry. Like, so many great things have happened in the last 20 years in that rivalry. Like, if
they didn't call us NFC least last year for nothing, so
yeah, this is true. But again, I think Dallas is getting back there. I think New York's on their way back. They've just got to put a few more pieces back together.
Saquon got to stay healthy too. I mean,
but that's the thing. They have to, and that's the good thing about. I can never remember his name. The quarterback for New York. Holy
Daniel
shit!
Jones.
There you go. I think with him getting better now, I think that takes a lot more pressure off of Saquon. They don't have to rely on him as much.
I feel that. But okay, but how long? So we all knew how predictable Dallas's offense got under Jason Garrett. How long before that happens with New York?
Oh, I'm surprised. I'm surprised it hasn't already happened.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get this new season kicked off. I mean,
I'm ready to see.
I say that, but then I look at the schedule and see that Dallas plays Tampa the first game of the year on Thursday night, and then I'm like, give us like a few more months.
Well, that's like,
or
that's like when they pitted.
Christmas.
That's like when they pitted. There's one year where Houston was. It was one of the years that JJ got hurt, and Houston was coming off of like a 6-10 season. In the first Thursday night game they had, because it was like Deshaun's second or third season, the first freaking Thursday night game was Houston versus New England, and I'm just like, really? They just came off of a 6-win season, and you're gonna pit them against the defending Super Bowl champions right away?
Had to do it again this year. They played this last year. They played Kansas City.
Yeah, like hello.
It's like, what? Hello?
Like, did you guys really have that much faith in us? Did you see our draft class? Like, what the hell? And did you see the fact that we lost?
Coach, but he's still an offensive coordinator, and
he still has a lot of.
I feel like his offense got a little redundant with us, but hopefully he'll change some stuff up with New York. Yeah, he's got some stuff to work with there.
True, very true. But yeah, we're kind of rambling on now. If we were doing the tangent count, it'd definitely be up a little bit right now.
That's fine.
But hey, look, we had fun. We talked about a lot of stuff tonight. I'm glad we were still able to do it with me giving Verge the night off. Bobby, I really appreciate you coming on, man. Have fun with you. Yeah. As always, this is the third time you've been on now, so obviously we like you around here.
Just fill in.
Yeah, man, for sure. But yeah, I'm glad we were able to do it for you guys. We'll hopefully have Verge back next week. I don't know. I have to decide on who I like more, Bobby or him. So we'll see.
Oh dang. Well then, yeah, no, Verge will be back next week, guys. For sure.
So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Who knows? We're making moves around here. Okay.
I'll just sit in my room and cry.
I'm just gonna start firing people. I'm gonna fire myself eventually too. Don't worry.
Well, that's. You think that's a little harsh? A little hard on yourself right there.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight, man. Thank you for coming on again. Appreciate you making time and coming on with me. I think that's all I got, guys. I really appreciate everybody who showed up. We had a lot of people in here. Karina, thank you for the follow. Matt, thank you for the raid. And if you guys haven't hit that follow button yet, hit that follow button. Keep up with the VODs on YouTube as well.
Turn those notifications on.
Yeah, turn those noties on. You know, Noti Gang for life.
Yep.
So appreciate it, guys. Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Had a lot of fun tonight. We will see you guys next Monday. And as always, have a good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever from. Peace out.